Back in May 2024, RTA Amendment Act 2024 was passed by the Queensland Parliament. The first tranche of the changes commenced on the day the Act received royal assent, 6 of June 2024. The Queensland Government has now given proclamation to confirm that the remaining changes will commence in a further 2 parts in late September this year and early May next year. The changes that will commence on 30th September 2024 include: at least one fee-free rent payment method must be offered to the tenant, and the property manager or lessor must provide the tenant with notice of any costs associated with using a rent payment method. Lessors will need to provide to the tenant evidence to support a bond claim or dispute resolution request within 14 days of making the claim or request. The maximum bond limit threshold will be removed, and a maximum bond of 4 weeks' rent will be applicable for every rental property regardless of the weekly rent amount. In some cases, when a tenancy is renewed, a tenant will be permitted to seek a bond refund if too much bond is held. Bills for service charges and water consumption charges will need to be provided to the tenant within 4 weeks of receipt from the relevant supply authority, or otherwise the tenant is not required to pay for the service charge or water consumption charge. If water consumption charges relate to a partial billing payment, the tenant is not required to pay for the charges unless the property manager calculates the water consumption in accordance with a RTA Act, and if a tenant breaks lease, relating costs will need to be calculated in accordance with a statutory formula. The changes that will commence on 1st of May 2025 include: the property manager will be required to use a prescribed form for tenancy applications. Property manager will only be permitted to request prescribed types of information from a prospective tenant and will be prohibited from requesting certain types of information. New requirements will apply for when a property manager verifies the identity of the tenant. Property managers will be required to disclose to the tenant any financial benefit received from a third-party rent payment method. Entry notice periods will be extended from 24 hours to 48 hours. Entry will be limited to 2 times per 7-day period once a Form 12 notice to leave or Form 13 notice of intention to leave is issued. A new process will be introduced for how a tenant can request the attachment of fixture or structural changes in residential properties, and a new process will be introduced for collecting, storing, and destroying personal information. These reforms and changes will officially take effect at the end of September this year and in May next year, and they are expected to have a certain impact on Queensland's rental market. If you have any question, feel free to contact us at any time.